Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. So, today was a mixed episode. It was a mixed episode. There was things I liked, and there was just things that I... then there was just things that were just boring. Take a wild guess which stuff is the boring parts. Um, Now, I will say that when it came towards Britt, and they had the television, and they showed like different slides of her, um, from like when she was a little girl, and just all those other nice, touching pictures and stuff. It was genuinely probably the best part in this episode. It was. Um, I will say, even though I've been having mixed feelings so far throughout this week, that they are doing a amazing job as far as giving this actress a send off. Probably better than any, if you really think about it, probably better than any other person who has been on this show that has decided to leave. Her exit so far seems better than Luke Spencer's. And I still remember Luke Spencer's episode. And, even to this day, I was just like, really? That was the best that you had? Yeah, Laura Wright play Spencer, Luke's mother? Really? Let's just think about that. Britt is getting a better send off than Luke Spencer. Yeah. Um, Trina. Now I know that the Sabrina fans are super happy. They are loving this. And I'm about to be a dick. Say what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna be honest. Trina has been being super depressed about a guy that she barely liked. But out of nowhere, she is super depressed. Oh, Rory is a good person, this, that, and the third. It's been less than 2 weeks since this man has been dead. Okay? So between yesterday and today, they're about to kiss. What happened to that whole, Rory was a good person? His body hasn't even been on the ground less than 2 weeks. And she's already about to sit there and kiss Spencer. Mm-mm. Wow. And Josh, the fact that she sat there and disrespected Dante's father right in front of her, right in front of him, and then said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I know this is not a good way to bring in a new..." No. You should be sorry for the fact that you just literally disrespected his dad right in front of his face. Imagine if Dante decided to disrespect Jax for all the things that he's done. How would she like that? I will say this much. Towards the end, when Josh, because Josh went to Kelly's to try to talk to Cam to break up with him. But he wasn't there, so she sat there and acted like the biggest party pooper of the night. And then, she got dropped back off, and, I guess she was about to go towards the launch or whatever. So he was like, "Oh, I don't need you." Now the hook killer's there. And you see the previews, and she's looking all scared. Poor Josh. Now, the only thing that was actually good about it was that it made me want to sit there and watch the next episode. This is something that they did in Days yesterday. And I gave them so much props. So I got to give the same props to GH. They actually managed to leave it on a cliffhanger. And I can't wait to sit there and find out what's going to happen Monday. So while Laura's not there talking to Nicholas about, you got to break a hold of Victor, I'll help you out, you got to sit there and be your own man, this, that, and third, Esme decides to start a fire. Yeah, I don't understand. I don't even think that she had a plan at this point. She was just like, oh, let's start burning stuff. And then the whole place started to get on fire, and she was like, man, I don't think this was such a good idea. What was her plan? I mean, what happens if Nicholas did not come in that room, in time? I mean, what's she going to do? I guess at that point, you're just going to burn to death. Because I don't know how the window situation is. And I'm pretty sure even if she jumped for that height, she may wind up just dying. But Nicholas came in there. He, put out the fire while Esme ran around while there was a bunch of smoke and everything like that. And now she's out there, but Nicholas is like, yo, I see you. At this point, Esme is like, yo, I'm not going back in there. I think I'll take my chances. I survived the first time. Yeah, but you weren't pregnant the first time. So she decides to jump. Now, Nicholas is all like afraid and worried. I'm like, bro, you did this to yourself. You kidnapped and kept a pregnant woman hostage. You literally gave her no other choice other than to jump. Okay? So at this point, this is on you. This is all on you. You could have called the cops. When she first came in there, turned her over. No, 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 no. You didn't want to sit there and want to lose Nava. Then you wound up losing Nava anyway. Oh, Nick, 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 Nick. You know, when I sit there and read some of the comments, I remember somebody was sitting there saying that if it was Tyler Christopher or Christopher Tyler, I forgot how you pronounce his name. It was like, well, they wouldn't have wrote him as so much of an idiot. Let me just burst a couple of people's delusional bubbles. Okay, the actors don't have a control on how their script is going to go. So it wouldn't matter if it was the old Nicholas or this Nicholas, whatever new Nicholas that they get, there's going to be on the show. If they're going to write him as a buffoon, they're going to write him as a buffoon, and it doesn't matter who is playing that character or who's playing the character. Sonny was there. He didn't really do too much of anything. Ulbricht sung, I guess. I don't know. I fast forward through most of it. Scotty was there. He didn't really do anything. Nina. The usual people. Oh, Finn talked to Liz. Liz is continuing with the charade. Oh, I lost a baby. And then they have like a 2-second conversation, and then he leaves, and he just looks super depressed. And then she looks, at this point, I don't really care. Yeah, that was pretty much about it. Oh, forgot about the boring part. Did you guess what part that was? Yep, Michael and Willow. Long story short, Michael asked Willow to marry him. That's about it. Yeah, that's about it. Every time I see Willow, I'm just depressed at this point. I really am. And if it wasn't for me sitting there, like, doing the reviewing of these soap operas and stuff like that, I'll probably fast forward through scenes. It's just depressing to sit there and watch at this point. Even the scene when Spencer came and let's sit there and say hug Kelly when he hugged that's actually not even her name when he hugged Britt and that was a nice little scene. They have some really good moments in this episode, so I will definitely give them a lot of points for that because it was very heartfelt. Austin's like, oh, well, you don't have to leave, you can stay. And then, towards the end of the night, Austin and Maxie, said Happy New Year's to each other, and, they toasted a glass or whatever. And Maxie looked ugh, like, okay. And I'm like, I'm like, really, boo? You couldn't even sit there and raise a glass to him towards New Year's Eve? Like, this how you gonna sit there and start your next year off? That type of energy? This whole breakup thing is just stupid. I'm just gonna be honest. It's just dumb. I know a lot of people didn't like them getting together in the first place, and even I had some issues because, um, I don't know. I felt like Maxie and Austin looked like they were like, I don't know, 30 years apart or something. Which, again, I'm not knocking, older and younger relationship. I've been with some older women before, so I'm not knocking it. But it was just like, eh. Um, but now they're not together. And I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of people that's happy about that because, um, that's something to celebrate, I guess. I don't know. There was going to be a time, there was going to be a point where it looked like, um, Trina and Spencer was about to get the hug because the killer was on there. But now it looks like Josh is going to get the hug, so that should be interesting. Josh is a pretty interesting character, I would say, because for the longest time, like when the new actress took over and whatever, I wasn't a huge fan of Josh. I really wasn't. And then she fought Nat, and at that point, I was like, you know what? Normally, I don't like you, but I am thoroughly impressed. And I started to like Josh. Now we're just backsliding. I mean, not totally backsliding, but we're definitely backsliding. You're going to sit there and disrespect, Dante by talking about his dad in front of his face? Like, it didn't say, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to start it. No, no, no. You should be apologizing for disrespecting his dad in front of his face. Or, talking bad about Sonny in front of Dante's face. That's what you should be apologizing for.